Kelly Smith, Buddha, and Steffi have been sentenced. Okay, they've been sentenced life imprisonment, which is what we wanted, what we, the online community, wanted, what the people of Saldana Bay wanted, for the safety of their children, because nobody knew who was going to be next, and worst off, no one still knows where Joshlin Smith is. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mzansi Unfiltered. Please go ahead, hit that subscription, hit the like button, and share this video as well. You know what? They've been sentenced, but that doesn't mean that is the end of Joshlin Smith's story, that we file it away and we stop talking about it. I, for one, I commit to continuing to talk about it until Joshlin is found, until we get the answers that we're all looking for. So I got this comment and I said, wow, thank you so much. The comment actually was quite uplifting, because like I told you guys in my previous video, it was very hard for me after the sentencing. It took an emotional toll on me, and I didn't realize how much that case had impacted me. But here's the thing. It's not about me. It's not at all about me. So Joshlin's father speaks out and he says, I want the truth from Kelly's mouth. And you know what? He is echoing the words of so many of us. So many of us were waiting patiently for Kelly to say something, anything at this point. So Joshlin Smith's father, he speaks to independent media about the mother of his children, Kelly Smith, and being sentenced to life in prison, as the three people convicted of kidnapping and trafficking Joshlin Smith begin serving their life sentences. The missing 6-year-old's father has broken his silence, calling for the truth and expressing deep fears for the safety of his surviving daughter. So let me just break that down a little bit, because that's a long sentence. But here's the thing. Joshlin Smith's father is the father of Joshlin and the baby. She was 2 years old at the time that Joshlin went missing, Raquel. So Raquel is the one who, if you listen to the victim impact statement, who sleeps with her grandmother, Kelly's biological mother. And when the mother wakes up to go to the bathroom, she stretches her hands out in fear that the grandmother is also going to disappear. A sign of post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing her with anything, but that is a clear sign that the child is traumatized by being left. Joshlin left, her mother left, and now we know her mother is never returning, because now she's serving a life sentence. So that is the daughter when he says he fears for the safety of his surviving daughter. I don't think anything will happen to her. Well, at least we pray nothing happens to her, because I know for sure her grandmother, per her victim impact statement, is watching her grandkids like a hawk. Okay, she's on attention full span. Okay, Joshlin's disappearance. And before you ask, I know some of you are going to ask, why is the child with the grandmother and not with the father? Because he was also on substances, and there was also the violence between him and Kelly. So there's also a social worker file on that. So at the present moment, he's not the ideal parent. Remember, when the courts, or should I say the social workers, work with children, they always work with the best interest of the child, biology or not. Okay. Don't get me started on why they didn't facilitate the Andrews taking Joshlin. But so if you remember as well, I feel I have to give so many recaps. If you remember as well, Joshlin's father, in the beginning, he used to attend court. I'm not sure if he continued after the camera doesn't really show the audience that much, but the few times that they did, I never spotted him there anymore, because in the beginning he would get very sick. Especially, I think it was during Ranz's testimony, he would get very, very emotional. Court would have to stop. One time he collapsed, I think. So, and I remember doing a video saying it is not in his best interest to keep going to court, because for his own health. But let's continue reading. Joshlin disappeared from her Middle Pass, Saldana Bay home on February 19, 2024. Her mother, Raquel Kelly Smith, reported her missing that evening, telling the police she had left her daughter in the care of her boyfriend, Jacqueline Buddha Apollos, while she went to work. Within 2 weeks, Kelly Apollos and their friend Stefano Van Rijn were arrested and later charged with kidnapping and human trafficking. Upumza Galima Skaqa was also the co-accused, was later released after charges against her were withdrawn. Another woman, their friend, Laurentia Renz Lombard, turned state witness and testified that she had been involved in a plot to sell Joshlin to a Sangoma for 20,000 rands. On May 2, Kelly, Apollis, and Van Ryan were found guilty in the Western Cape High Court were found guilty in the Western Cape High Court. On Thursday, they were sentenced to life imprisonment for human trafficking and 10 years for kidnapping, with the sentences to run concurrently. I'm yet to still do the video of the stuff that the judge said before he read the sentence, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a notification. The presiding officer, Judge Nathan Erasmus, said the trio, including Lombard, failed Joshlin and their actions tore the Saldanha Bay community apart. Mr. Apollo said he fed Joshlin, he cared for her and looked her in the eye. You sat there and did nothing, betraying the trust she must have had in you, Mr. Apollos, as her parent, and you, Miss Smith, as the one who gave birth to her, and Mr. Van Ryan, being that good friend, a father of a small child. We've heard the victim impact statements. She was a child in the community. We heard how she would go to some of the houses and sit at their tables. Miss Lombard also looked Joshlin in the eye and gave her something to eat and did nothing to protect her. The society and community of Saldanha were torn apart. We heard about the extensive searches that took place. He added that the trio showed no remorse during the trial. Miss Smith and Mr. Van Ryan, you found it amusing. You were celebrating. You didn't take this seriously. Speaking after the sentencing, Joshlin's father said the day had brought mixed emotions. The sentencing was bittersweet. I am happy, but also heartbroken. I would like to know where in the world my child is. He criticized Kelly for withholding the truth about Joshlin's whereabouts. It hurts me, but I can't say I'm happy. What she chose to do, she asked for it. She will now spend life in prison, but she still didn't say where my child is. So he also shares another daughter with Kelly. He said now he felt the need to protect his youngest even more. I haven't spoken to her about her sister's case. She's too young and too small to understand. But she asks every day, where is my sister? What must I tell her? What must I tell my child? That I don't know where her sister is or who she's with. That's what hurts. He added, I still feel very uncomfortable. I don't know where in the world my child is or who she is living with, but I still feel my child is alive. She is very young. She must still grow up, stand up for herself, and take care of herself one day. Not knowing where she is, it doesn't let me rest. He also was questioning the timing of Kelly's actions. I want to know the truth. Why and for what reason did she do this? I am Joshlin's father. I didn't abandon my child. I was just in the Northern Cape for a month or two. My biggest question is, why did she wait until I turned my back to do what she did? Oh, guys, that is so heartbreaking. He said he longed to hear the truth directly from Kelly. My message to Kelly is, I just want to hear the truth from her mouth. He described a conversation, Joshlin's father described a conversation with Joshlin's godmother, Natasha Andrews, who called him on Friday, the 23rd of May. Tasha asked me if Kelly could speak to Raquel, his younger daughter, the next day. On Saturday, I said no. I won't allow that until I know the truth. Okay, so Miss Andrews. Wait, let me read this sentence again. Okay, so Miss Andrews asked me if Kelly could speak to Raquel, so that's the baby daughter, the next day on Saturday. I said no. I won't allow that until I know the truth, until this pain in me is gone, until I get to see my child in front of me or just hear her voice. I won't allow Kelly near Raquel. Okay, I'm confused now. So does the child live with the father or does the child live with the grandmother? Because the victim impact statement made it seem like the child lives with the grandmother. But let's continue reading. He concluded, Kelly will be a big problem and a danger to my child. She's manipulative, and I believe she planned this to get Joshlin trafficked. Western Cape Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Tembisile Kategile said authorities would not rest until Joshlin is found. We will not rest until we find out what happened to Joshlin. We are continuing day and night looking for her. We're still appealing to everybody. Let's work together to find the missing child and all other missing children out there who haven't had the opportunity to have a case brought forward like Joshlin's. That is so true. We must stand together as a country. We've been outside the country. We are working with Interpol and other policing agencies around the world, and we hope that one day we will find exactly what happened to Joshlin. Women and men against child abuse welcomed the sentencing. The Joshlin Smith kidnapping and human trafficking trial painted a grim picture of harsh reality children in the country face and brought home the terrifying knowledge that children in South Africa can vanish into thin air, sold like cattle, and no one seems to know where they end up. Joshlin was 6 years old when she was exchanged for 20,000 rands and collected. Women and Men Against Child Abuse is very satisfied with the sentences handed down, but still contend that there were other parties involved in the disappearance of Joshline Smith. True, I believe so too, who have seemingly gotten away with it. The three accused conspired to sell a child for reasons we don't know. There was a middleman and a client on the other side who wanted something from this child, and we have no idea who those people are. But there are other people who were around, who heard and saw things, so there are a lot of loose ends. The most distressing part about this case is the mother's involvement. How does a mother even start a conversation about selling her child and then set off a whole chain of events where there is a buyer for the whole child or body parts? It's absolutely diabolic. I agree with this sentence. So, Women and Men Against Child Abuse recognizes Judge Erasmus for sending a strong message with the sentencing and giving justice to Joshlin. We wish a little girl didn't have to meet such a gruesome fate to begin with. Exactly. Oh, what a day, guys. What a day. But I've gone through this read. Let me know your thoughts on Joshline Smith's father. He speaks up. He says, nope, Kelly will not be getting access to the baby. There's no way, no chance in hell until she speaks with her mouth and her chest and says, where the hell is Joshlin? That's the thing that will forever be on Joshlin's father's mind. And the little revelation, did you guys pick up on it? That Kelly did this when he had just left. He had just gone away for a month or two. He was in Northern Cape, and all of a sudden, Jiggy, Joshlin is missing. He hadn't abandoned her. He was part of her life. He was in the picture, but he went away for a month or two, and Kelly said, perfect timing. Off we go to these unknown people, the middleman and the client, and the money is exchanged and the plot happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And in Mzansi Unfiltered tradition, we want to keep Joshline Smith's story alive. So please share the story to the last 3 people you texted with today so they know as well that Joshline had a father and he has feelings too. Fathers matter too. Go ahead and type fathers matter in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload. Bye.
It's making her famous, all that kind of stuff.
How did that make you feel when she said that her childhood has made her famous?
It made me very sad because it's difficult for me just to accept that my child just does appear like that.
And what are you hoping this week will bring to you?
going to make me.
En sê dit in Afrikaans.
Dit sal my baie geduldiger maak.
En die
As nou miskien hoor hier wat die waarheid is. Dan sal dit my meer rustiger maak.